In today's episode, we're looking at the lessons we can learn from the journey of a successful brand. If you're ready, let us dive in. Welcome to the Growth Academy podcast with BJ. I am your host, BJ. The mission of this podcast is to share with entrepreneurs and business owners the knowledge and skills needed to properly position their brand and market themselves to their ideal customer. So today we're looking at the inspirational story of the founder of Bolt. So we're going to look at the lessons we can pick out from this story at the end of this episode, so stick around. Alright, so the story of Bolt, based on their success, you think they started as a tech giant from the get-go, but they start from very, very humble beginnings, right? So one of the reasons we're highlighting this story in this episode is to show the rigors and the different situations the young entrepreneur, that's the founder of Bolt, found himself and how he went about those scenarios, right? Okay, so before we start, I want to just give us a brief background on Bolt, the company. I doubt we don't know the company Bolt, but just for those that don't know, I'll just give a brief background before we jump right into the story. All right, so Bolt is an Estonian mobility company that offers ride-hailing, micro-mobility rental, food and grocery delivery, and car-sharing services. The company is headquartered in Tallinn, which is the capital of Estonia, and it operates in over 500 cities and in more than 45 countries, which includes the continents Europe, Africa, Western Asia, and Latin America. And they have over 150 million users. Wow. Okay, so let's jump right into the story. So the founder of Bolt, MARKUS VILLIG, was born in December 17, 1993 in Tallinn, Estonia. He attended the Tallinn Secondary School of Science in Tallinn, Estonia. And during his secondary school days, Marcus was influenced into the world of coding as the awareness of tech in Estonia was on the rise at the time. Just to give a little backstory, Skype was also found in Estonia. So the country was kind of already aware of how successful tech can be. So just putting that in there. We'll come back to that. Okay, so he finished his secondary school at the age of 19 in the year 2013, and that same year he finished secondary school, he launched Bolt, which at the time was called Taxify, and he started the company in his hometown, Tallinn, right? So in the beginning, Marcus knew that he didn't have a lot of capital, so he was very lean in the operations of the company, and he built the earliest version of Bolt by himself, and the first logo was designed by his girlfriend, who was a graphic designer at the time. So in order to take care of server costs and other costs the company would incur at the time, he reached out to his parents and asked them to borrow 5,000 euros, the money they had kept aside for his university education, abandoning the idea of university to pursue his dream of the company. Now, none of the founders collected a salary for the first 6 months of the inception of the company, all in an attempt to save costs, right? So he spent the first few months trying to get the local taxi drivers to sign up and use the Taxify platform, and it was very challenging because none of the drivers were ready to leave the original method of getting passengers that they were already used to. But after much persistence, day in, day out, getting insults, getting ridiculed by different drivers, he was able to register a couple of drivers that started the first iteration of the company. Now, in the first year, 2 members joined the team as co-founders of Bolt. The first person was Marcus Villig's brother, Martin Villig, who worked at Skype at the time. And the second person to join the team was a programmer he found online by the name Oliver Leisalu. So Oliver Salu was a very, very good addition to the team because he helped improve their system just around the time that they were about to go international. Now, let's talk about the finance of Bolt. Yeah, so apart from the 5,000 euros given to Markus Villig at the inception of the company, he tried several times to get funding for the company, and a lot of investors refused to invest. And the reason was because the space he was trying to compete in, the investors felt like there was already a big name that's dominating that space, and the big name is Uber. So for the first 2 years, no investor wanted to invest in their business until 2017, right? So in 2017, they got funding from Finnish and Estonian investors. And in 2018, they had a strategic partnership with Didi Chuxing, and the partnership came with an undisclosed investment that's estimated to be about 8 figures in dollars. In 2019, the company changed its name from Taxify to Bolt. There was a rebranding in the year 2019, and from there on, they kept on expanding their business. And in 2018, when they got the investment from Didi Chuxing, they decided to go into Bolt e-scooters, and they released Bolt e-scooters in France. In 2019, they released Bolt Foods, and they started Bolt Foods in Estonia. And then in 2020, they released Bolt e-bikes. So those are e-bicycles you could rent, and they started it in France. Now, Markus has received several awards, several recognitions for his achievements as an entrepreneur, and I'll just list a few. Now, the first one was in 2016 when he was featured as the youngest CEO in the Forbes 30 under 30 list in the Baltics. And then he received the Presidential Award for Best Young Entrepreneur in Estonia. That's just a few accolades and recognitions, one of the many accolades and recognitions that the young founder had received. So today, Bolt is worth 7 billion euros. Now, remember, he started with just 5,000 euros in the beginning, right? Now, today, 7 billion euros. Amazing. So, what are the lessons we can learn from this story? First lesson starts with what you have and with who you have. Now, the first logo of Bolt was designed by Marcus's girlfriend, not some fancy designer. And he started building the app himself, even when he knew he didn't have like all the knowledge and all the expertise to push the app. So, first lesson, don't underestimate yourself. Don't underestimate your story, okay? Second lesson, if you believe in your dream well enough, do not give up on it. Keep pushing. Even when people don't recognize what you're trying to do at first, keep pushing. At the end of the day, they would hop on. Lesson number 3, learn to take risks. You can see the risk Markus took with his school fees. He didn't think of a plan B. He went all in. So learn to take risks. And the fourth lesson, is that Estonia was on a tech awareness rise. With the influence of tech companies like Skype, Markus took advantage of the tech awareness and decided to start his own tech company, right? So the fourth lesson is make sure you notice trends, be very vigilant, and know when to enter early, right? So I hope you have learned a lot in this episode. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me at BenedictJr_ on Instagram and Twitter. And yeah, there's an announcement I said I was going to make on today's episode. Our community would be launching on the 7th of January 2024. Woo! So yeah, I'll be dropping links for the wait list on all my social media platforms. So look out for the links and do well to sign up. Till next time, stay awesome, guys.